Hi everyone, Mark and Psychotria here from Universal Asylum. Now, I've been giving Psychotria Ayahuasca. What are you fucking dumb cunts gonna do about it? The reason I've been giving Psychotria Ayahuasca is to treat inclusion body disorder or disease, I think they call it, in captive pythons. Now, the reason why pythons and humans have something very in common. And did you know that RNA viruses are not very divergent at all? That's not the problem. Now, what humans and pythons have in common is that when you take pythons out of fucking trees, now her name's Psychotria for a reason. I named her years ago when she was about a ruler length and as slim as my pinky finger. Now, pythons and boas, when you put them in a glass cave enclosures, they get inclusion body disease, which is where they develop these cellular deformities, and all the scientists think it's because of viruses. It's not fucking viruses, you morons. Sorry, you're not morons. Science isn't allowing you to study what you need to study to fucking figure this shit out, for a starter. Now, the difference between, have you ever wondered why elapids and other species? Now, there's about 80 species of pythons and boas, and there's about 3,500 fucking snake species. The ones on the ground, you can put them in fucking, enclosures with fuck all. They might experience different problems. In any of the research I've done, they don't, I haven't noticed anything. But these are the ones that experience neurological problems, and by the time they get the inclusion bodies, they've got so many fucking issues that science doesn't even know what they're looking at. So the few scientists who think they know, where some of them are humble enough because, they're all finding that they're fucking, there's such a range of viruses. It's like they're guessing which fucking virus, because it's fucking, is it Bornavirus or fucking, I can't even, I've got them listed. I'll put my published version, with all the names of them viruses and shit they've looked at over the last 40 years ago. So basically, snakes have been experiencing this for about fucking 40 years, since humans started being cunts and putting them in enclosures. Now, humans have been experiencing the same thing. I've recently, throughout my research, which Universal Asylum. So look, what would I know? No, I'm just a fucking social worker, and to suggest that the indigenous people actually fucking know anything is beyond fucking belief, because some fucking white cunt didn't fucking But I am a white cunt. I put a fucking flag in the ground a few years ago and declared to the federal government and world governments, it's all been online, no one's challenged it, that Universal Asylum will be facilitating the transition to a leaderless system of governance where, science will lead the way rather than bioterrorists like the World Health Organization and UN. I've recently found a publication from a biophysicist who discovered an ancient RNA binding site on the SM domain. It's covered by crystal. And there's also on the SML, which means, I'm not sure, SM, probably, I don't even know. It's SM-like is what the L means. So the SM1 cells have this N-terminal. Oh no, they have a C-terminal, forget. Either or, it doesn't matter. So there's a terminal behind these crystals, and then there's a terminal on the SML1 cells. Now, dimethyltryptamine, and they've called this an ancient RNA binding site, so they know what it is. And how it works is dimethyltryptamine connects the gap. So basically our systems have two configurations, and it's like having a fuck. Having a fuck's good, but you don't want to fuck all the time. Well, if you're like me, you kind of fucking do. And it becomes really hard to find, I only ever really found one woman who fucking, felt right for me, but whatever. The point is, like, even we had to have a break. Fuck it. So, yeah. So basically, we've got, our systems have two modes. Now, we've co-evolved for 4 billion years. This ancient binding site has remained unchanged until just recently. Well, the binding site's no different. But what's different is we have, in the last 10,000 years, since the Neolithic Revolution, humans have become increasingly separated from their connection with... I can't even get a fucking beautiful little face in. From our connection with ayahuasca, the sacred plants, and just like the pythons, when we take them out of the trees, takes a while. Took her about 7 years before she started showing signs, and she started twitching. And like, when I found her, I was devastated. I'd been working with the plants many years trying to treat PTSD, which I still haven't treated because had my fucking career destroyed accidentally. Was building I didn't even know back then the year I come up with the concept of universal asylums, fucking leaderless system of governance, to help the aging population that we can't fucking look after, that I also found that, DMT would fucking help, was the year the iPhone 4 come out. I accidentally built a fucking computerized fucking system of governance, or designed one, which no one will take fucking seriously, because no one will take a social worker seriously, because, no one will take the indigenous people seriously. They didn't know fuck all. This snake doesn't know fuck all. So the thing is, we have this binding site in our head. It's covered by crystals. So then when you put it with DMT in particular, DMT is actually a major microspecies at 7.3 pH. So what it does is it activates, it activates amino acids, which are actually a live species, a major live species. So that's tryptophan, serotonin in the right form, a major fucking species. They're a part of us. Now, DMT, contrary to popular belief, is actually the male equivalent of, they say mother ayahuasca. Perhaps that's in reference to the vine. It does turn on a divine spirit, fucking turns her on good and fucking proper, and a bit like a male, tripped. What's tripped mean? It could well mean, it's been very mysterious, caused a lot of problems trying to find out the meaning to tripped. But if you go tripe, got the word like bore, like a fucking, bore a hole into the fucking ground. Then you've got T, which is period of time. So for a period of time, it bores, it RNA binds. So it's like we have two configurations, and I'm not 100% sure how snakes get it. Whether the snakes get it through, so pythons get it. Like I said, elapids and other ground species don't get it. Now they evolved on the ground where they don't need it. So there's a couple of sides to that coin. There's the side of, do they need it? Because snakes, pythons and boas eat a lot of birds and filthy fucking things that live in trees, but they also a lot of the trees have the DMT in the bark. So it could be a case of them either absorbing it through the bark or the fact that they eat a lot of birds and stuff, which eat a lot of seeds, which have a lot of tryptamines in them, and they're not the type of seeds that we feed them in the zoos and shit. And you notice when you're studying this shit that you also find they have a lot of problems with birds in captivity and stuff like that. And it's always the virus, because we've always got to blame the virus. And what I've been finding lately, which has been really scary, is how many scientists are actually going, hang on a minute, now we've got this U-Butte technology and we're gene sequencing, and hang on, fuck, we didn't have, like, how come the this virus wasn't fucking divergent fucking for 4 billion years? 4 billion years. And all of a sudden it's highly divergent. Now the UN and World Health Organization, they know this shit. They've got access to this. They've been planning this since, the Nixon government in 1971, when they made their fucking, plans to fucking... It's funny how they've got no plan for an aging population. You don't need a plan for an aging population if you're planning on killing everyone. Now, they have essentially turned humans into... they've bioweaponized us by denying us access to dimethyltryptamine in particular. They have basically retarded our immune systems, which has caused the mutation of viruses and the spread of viruses. And they've also done it in a manner that perpetuates fear, which is by their definition, fucking terrorism, right? We are a biological they've turned us into bioweapons, but the real bioweapon, because they've also, in some of the definitions that I've referenced on the Universal Asylum website, which Universal Asylum is designed so they're to deconstruct the fucking military systems eventually, but it's designed to make sure that no one ever commits an atrocity. Like, no one can ever do that. It's designed that. It's leaderless. That's the fucking idea of it. Because humans can't be trusted with that power because they're dumb cunts. And snakes are beautiful. Fucking, it's funny, the Bible snake, like the snake in the tree fucking manipulated the fucking woman into manipulating the man into eating the fruit, and then turned them into prudes, and supposedly like that, God was fucking intimidated by them fucking when they were all prudish and shit. Like, fuck off. What a ridiculous load of shit. I only just read that the other day. I thought I'd better check my facts, if I'm going to fucking talk about the Bible and how fucked in the head it is, I better actually at least read one fucked up passage out of it. So I read the Genesis. Fucking, what a load of shit. Anyway, so yeah, fucking snakes in the fucking government are denying people fucking, and they've turned us into bioweapons. Now, Universal Asylum has a system of governance, and also snakes and pythons. So, what are snakes? So, snakes are on every fucking continent except for Antarctica, where it's too fucking cold. So, there's pythons, fucking boas, and Eurolapids and other species. So there's only about 80 species of python and about 80 species of fucking boas, yet there's about 3,500 species of snake, depending on which references you go by. So it's only your ones that live in the trees. And, your boas sort of tend to venture into the water and shit a bit more. They do have a little bit different environment, and they do experience a little bit different problems. There are some variations, and they, over the world there'll be different, variations and stuff like that. And that's why these make the perfect candidates to study this stuff for a global study, because that's part of, Universal Asylums, how it operates. Instead of having, some fucking dumb cunt politician to lie and tell science what they can and can't study, and then lie to the people to try and manipulate them into fucking whatever. Like, it's about studying what is actually going on, and we need to do a bit of that before we are very close to fucking everything up. And now, you know, if you look at a lot of the research, it'll say, oh, the viruses were caused, the Neolithic, it all acknowledges the Neolithic revolution, but what it doesn't acknowledge is our disconnection from DMT. You know, we started off basically in the same trees as the pythons. You know, we were these little bonobo fucking chimps, and that makes the fucking whole Genesis fucking story even funnier. You know, it's like we used to live in the tree, like the tree of fucking life, with the fucking DMT. And that's the two sides of the coin. You know, is it because we're, you know, do snakes need a higher immune system to live in the trees and have a higher immune system because of the birds they eat? Or do they have, have the snakes on the ground developed a higher immune system that doesn't need DMT because they're on the ground, and perhaps they need something else? And that's the thing, everything has different fucking needs. Problems is, humans and this, you know what lives in, here's a question for you, what lives in a sterile environment? Fucking nothing. Nothing lives in a fucking sterile environment, you fucking morons. When I thought she was going to have to get put down. And I've since been undertaking experimental fucking scientific fucking research. Like I've said, Universal Asylum fucking took world governance 3 years ago, and I was subject to about 12 months of federal investigations. It put a flag in the ground, which is fucking well precedented on video, because now the internet made it possible to take world government and claim over a jurisdiction. And, of course the social worker is going to fucking design a fucking, use the technology we've got to design a fucking system of governance that, isn't based on a 2,000-year-old fucking, shit system that led to the collapse of the Roman fucking Empire, essentially. That's the shit we've got. And I stand by it. I don't fucking vote. I've never voted because it doesn't fucking work. It's a load of fucking shit. So the idea is to create a fucking scientific fucking database that is global, that the fucking, that is very multifunctional. It plays a role in deconstructing the outdated social structure that we've got. Now I'm going to have a bunch of fucking wankers saying that I'm cruel for, giving a snake psychedelics, you fucking morons. You try and fucking take her off me and put her in a fucking enclosure and let her fucking die, I got advice, and, I'm very well experienced with these substances, but it wasn't until, I thought I was going to have her put down that, I fucking did what had to be done. I give her a good solid dose of fucking ayahuasca. And, I got all the advice from the snake people, and she's actually starting to get sick now, and I'm not going to do it on this video. I'm going to do it on a separate video, so that this video doesn't get removed from fucking YouTube. Now, I would like Universal Asylum, which I'm acting on behalf of, until it is fucking signed over to everyone, and everything to be signed over to fucking Universal Asylum, all fucking natural resources, absolutely fucking the universe to Universal Asylum, and that will be signed over to everyone. But that's got a little bit of a fucking process involved to it as well. It's a bit of responsibility, and I'm still pending a few fucking legal fucking advice on how to fucking approach that. because we're dealing with some dangerous fucking people, dangerous people who aren't allowing the research. Now, the thing is, if you take a fucking, cell biopsy, probably myself and Psychotria, there'll be some differences in our gene splicing. Although, and I don't know how a lot of that works. I've been trying to interpret a lot of research. I found some very significant stuff. I don't know whether I talked about it on this video. The ancient RNA binding site that hooks your LS domain up to your fucking... SM domain up to your SML fucking 1 cells to reconfigure your fucking immune system and your gene splicing. And that's why snakes get fucking inclusion body disorder, respiratory disorders. It's all your fucking degenerative disorders, and that's the problem. They're like, oh, you think it, and it's like, yes, the same thing. Yeah, the thing that like allows your genes to splice is contributing to neurodegeneration, muscular degeneration, intergenerational degeneration across the entire human system. Now, of course, different parts of the system degenerate at different rates depending on so many fucking factors. And it's depending on like the job your fucking grandfather had, maybe, what was he exposed to, or what wasn't he exposed to, or was he exposed to something good? Some of us have had fucking family running around fucking on horses, fucking covered in acacias and shit like that. We've all got different backgrounds. And that makes it hard to trace. It also, back to the Neolithic revolution, yes, we were exposed to more animals, but we also took animals out of their environments into new environments where they weren't getting the nutrition they needed as well. So we have, it's not as simple as, it kind of is as simple as they don't have the DMT no more. But it also isn't, because we've really mixed things around a lot, and we've fucking cleared so much land. The amount of fucking land that we've cleared for, to crop and shit like that, all of that is no longer in the fucking environment. They're fucking massive ecological diversity. And you consider, like the fucking amino acids are, one of the fucking most common things across everything. They co-evolved with plants and species to be perfect to feed us both across the globe in different variations across billions of years, literally, before we even had fucking land. And now we're trusting fucking a few rich cunts to fuck with that shit. I think even my mum's like, oh, I'm not interested in that. It's like, you fucking should be, because this stuff affects our fucking lives. But I love my mum and shit, man. I'm just trying to make sure she doesn't get murdered by some degenerative fucking cunts who run the fucking terrorists. That's what they fucking are. So fucking, yeah, I would like to be arrested. I would like to be charged with, I don't know. Look, I've already said my defense. My defense is universal asylum holds world fucking governance. It took world governance. It's been well fucking precedented that white cunts, or cunts, whatever, to take governance, you fucking put a flag in the ground and you take it. I went and I put a flag in the ground. I told the fucking world governments that universal asylum was going to facilitate the transition to a fucking leaderless system of governance. And the intentions were to eventually dismantle the world military systems, which I think, I can't speak on behalf of everyone, but I think most of us would like to fucking, I think, I don't know, anyone who's not affected by Gaza and shit like that is, I know I haven't seen too much, but I've got a little bit of awareness of it, because I know the same shit's been going on forever. I've been trying to advocate for a fucking solution for years. I've been trying to advocate for the therapeutic value of DMT for years, and people keep fucking dying. Like... I had a family member fighting for his fucking life at the moment. I just lost a family member recently. He might have been able to be saved by this shit. And I don't know how many people I've lost since I've been fighting, because it won't count. Because they're not numbers, they're not fucking statistics, you fucking cunts. I'll think about them individually. So you fucking send counter-terrorism, I trust them, they were good with me last time. Do not, you come around with those fucking pieces of shit at the RSPCA. I volunteered for them. They're fuckwits. Not all of them, but nah, I wouldn't. It's not. Nah. Yeah, you come try and take this fucking snake, you have to fucking shoot me. She is. Well, is she property of Universal Asylum, or is she under the fucking amnesty of fucking Universal Asylum's fucking jurisdiction? Or is she evidence in a fucking federal investigation? That's, a leadership fucking dispute. Like I've said, I'll be, she proves that my allegations against fucking UN and fucking WHO are fucking right. They are by terrorists, by their own fucking definitions. Not by my definitions, by their definitions. They have denied us a fucking nutrient that has turned humans into basically a mechanism that spreads illness and disease, and they've used that to create fear. And their own, some of the studies I've referenced in my work talk about, the real victims aren't always, so real victims aren't yet. And I was very much afraid of the, when I advocated for ayahuasca for a COVID-19 treatment, I took the vaccine, even when I had a heart attack. The vaccine didn't help I was sick as fuck. The ayahuasca took the symptoms away, but I didn't have enough. But while it worked, I had one dose, and while it worked, it fucking relieved all the symptoms. But yeah, I didn't have enough ready, and I was too sick to make any more. But it did work. A lot better than the fucking virus. And then I got a heart attack. But I didn't fucking, until I started really getting into my more recent fucking research and understanding the actual fucking viruses, understanding the amount of scientists who are actually starting to fucking go, hang on, no,